Hi, this is me editing this video, and I thought that before we start this vlog, I just wanted to quickly kind of give some context and be a bit more informative in this vlog about our trip. So I'm just gonna talk about kind of where we went, how much we spent, and kind of where we stayed. My friends and I, we went to the South Island in New Zealand for about a week, and the three main attractions and places that we wanted to go were Milford Sound, Queenstown, and Mount Cook. For the first day, we actually landed in Christchurch. So I flew from Auckland because I was already in New Zealand prior to them, because I was visiting a friend for a week, and they flew from Melbourne. So we met in Christchurch in the morning on the first day. We drove around 10 hours to try to reach as close to Milford Sound as we could, which was our first attraction point. Our plan was that we want to go all the way down and then kind of move up from there. So we didn't make it to Milford Sound because it wasn't really possible. We tried to go as close as we could. We ended up at Te Anau. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrongly. We stayed at Te Anau for a night, and on our second day, we drove to Milford Sound. We didn't spend the night at Milford Sound. We went straight to Queenstown after that. So Queenstown, we stayed for 2 nights actually. We had booked skydiving in Queenstown. So the third day, we were just at Queenstown doing skydiving, which I will talk more about later. Then on the fourth day, we left Queenstown and we were headed to our third kind of attraction point, which was Mount Cook. But before that, we stayed in another place called Lake Pukaki. I'm sorry again. We stayed at Lake Pukaki for a night, and then on the fifth day was when we went to Mount Cook. But we didn't stay in Mount Cook because we had booked an Airbnb close to Mount Cook at a place called Lake Tekapo. I'm sorry again. On the fifth day, we went from Pukaki to Mount Cook, and then at night at Lake Tekapo. On the sixth day was when we went back to Christchurch and spent the night there, and then the last day was when we dropped the campervan off and then just went back to Melbourne. In terms of accommodation, we actually rented a campervan, and that was the mode of transportation for us. We were actually suggested by a friend who went to New Zealand before, and we thought it would be fun because we've all never tried it before. The campervan that we stayed in had 2 big beds. There were 5 of us, so 3 of us were on one bed and then the other 2 were on the other, and then there was a kitchen where you could cook, and a fridge and freezer, oven, and a shower and toilet. And we all took turns driving. I only drove a total of 2 hours for the whole trip because I'm not a very skilled driver, and it's really scary. It's so big and you're driving on the mountain. It was very, very scary for me. We actually went with this company called Wilderness, and I would actually really recommend them because I think the campervans were really clean, felt really new, everything was working. In terms of service, they were really good as well, and they kind of helped guide us when we told them what we wanted to do and things like that. They were just very helpful. If you want to park your campervan for the night, you can't just park it anywhere. There are actually designated places where you can park, because I think if you don't park it at a designated spot, I think you could risk getting fined. We did most of our search on where we could park on either Google or on this app. I think it was called Campermate. I'm gonna put it right here, which helped a lot. So there's kind of a few different options. The ones that we went to were either designated campsites, so they have all these like different facilities. So they have like showers, kitchen, a lounge, things like that, or it would be just an open space that somehow can park your campervan overnight. Or there are also some spots where it's just like people's houses, people's backyards, other people's extra space, and they kind of turn it into a parking site for you to park and kind of stay there for the night. And all the prices vary between the places. That's included in the budget, which I will go over later. We didn't end up showering in the campervan at all. I think only my friend showered in the campervan once because it's really small. It's just a bit of a hassle, but I think lucky for us, the campsite that we stayed at, the one in Queenstown, had showers, so we could just shower at the campsite. Instead, it means less wastewater. There's a kind of like a tank where the wastewater goes. You need to throw it away by yourself, and then you refill it with fresh water. We also did not do any large business in the campervan because we did not want to clean that. So we would just always go to public toilets. At the most, we would just pee in the campervan. How it works is that there are a lot of designated places where they provide these facilities. Besides gas, you would also need to charge for like electricity, which heats up your heater throughout the night when you sleep because it's so cold. It's so cold. And also the fresh water. It's not too difficult to find. It was definitely an experience. Yes. In terms of budget, my flight is a little different from my friends because I was already in Auckland, so I was flying from Auckland to Christchurch while my friends were flying from Melbourne. A return flight was pretty similar, but it was all below $700, which is still expensive, but it is what it is. We spent around $500 to $550, around that range, for both the campervan and the Airbnb. This amount includes the amount that we had to pay to park our campervan. Oh, and on a side note, all the prices that I'm stating are all in AUD because Yes, but that doesn't include gas, and gas was around $100 to $200 per person. Another big sum of money that was spent was skydiving. We went skydiving in Queenstown. It was around 500 plus. It was expensive. We chose the 15,000 feet one, and we also had to pay for pictures and videos. That's why it was 500 plus. It was worth it because, you know, it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and it was kind of like a big thing that we wanted to do in New Zealand because we have no more money from all these big expenses. We ended up cooking a lot, and I think we spent probably $100 worth for food. Yeah, I think that's about it, and let's just get back into the vlog.
I wanna turn my phone off, but that's where all my friends are. What do I do? Why is it so hard to find someone new so far away? All the days that I used to have someone right beside me.
What are you making? Instant noodle with egg and sausage. Yeah.
Just wanna feel something. Lonely nights talking.
This one nice.
So nice? Rice is nice.
It's good. This vlog is not good. It's better like that.
I'm gonna no.
To mix with the crowd, and I wonder why I'm sitting all alone, staring at my phone. Or I just want a connection. Is that so hard to ask for? I just want something that's real, that's alive. Don't want no white noise on the other line. I just want a connection. Is that so hard to ask for? I just want something that's real, that's alive. Don't want no phone static, phone static, oh. Phone static, oh.
We're gonna be making lunch. We're gonna be making pasta. I'm with Apple. This is Apple. The boys left us here to cook. Yeah, so our friends went for a walk, and we decided that we're not gonna do that. So we're gonna make lunch instead. So this is Chef Per.
Staring at my phone, or I just want
Hello, Ning. What's going on today?
We're gonna be skydiving.
Oh, you're crazy. And how high?
15,000 feet.
Ready to have fun?
Sure.
Let's do it.
You in the backyard of your old farm in the summer. Stayed there for 3 weeks where we learned to love each other. Wrote you letters and messages to the captain. Skip to the present, have been so happy over.
Thank you so much for coming.
but it's better for my mental health. I do not like anybody here, so why do I care? I tell myself that I just need to have someone right beside me, or else I'm nothing. But for me, I'd rather be alone than with some people that I don't know. Midnight's talking the pixels. I don't go out, don't intermix with the crowd, and I wonder why I'm sitting all alone, staring at my phone. Or I just want a connection. Is that so hard to ask for? I just want something that's real, that's alive. Don't want no white noise on the other line. I just want a connection. start to lose all feeling. Where are the people for me? Text messages on repeat, start to lose all feeling. Where are the people for me?
We're gonna post mail.